Are we truly in a state of emergency or public health crisis? Well, there's a few people that say we are, and because what they're saying and who they are is shaping the world. We are under a public health crisis, they declared. But why? And is there a bigger ploy here? Is there something bigger that we can't see? Well, let's jump into it today. Let's have a common sense approach to this new crises that they are pushing. And I honestly believe if you opened your eyes, you've already seen it. And it just takes us trying to educate the rest of them. Guys, let's start this video right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so much for being here today. If you're new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That's okay, but let us know what you think about this content. We have two major giveaways going on for November. One is in the comments below. It is Survival Seeds link. All you do is put your email below in the Survival Seeds contest. They'll pick a winner at the end of the month. We also are going to be giving away another giveaway, another prize about halfway through the month. All it takes is you being subscribed and give us a comment and give us a thumbs up on this video, and that way you'll be entered into that drawing as well. Now let's jump into the content for today. Public health crisis. Why are we hearing globalists say there is a public health crisis, and what are they talking about? Well, it's the climate. Everybody knew that. We've talked about the climate in several videos. They're not talking about global cooling, global warming. They're talking about climate change in general. Well, remember, when we hear the word climate change, it allows them to utilize it for anything that is catastrophic, or anything that Mother Nature throws at us, or in our case, anything that the world is just going through because it's just a normal day and time in the world. So when we talk about climate, why do you hear the globalists and the ones who are what we would consider the ones in charge, the ones who are elite, the ones who are wanting to push this global narrative, why are they the ones pushing this climate change emergency so much? They're wanting to call this a global state of emergency. It is a permanent global state of emergency until we get a hold of it. Now, that's all a farce to me. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I don't believe I'm going to be proven wrong on that, by the way. But why are they wanting that? Why are they wanting a public health crisis or a global state of emergency way worse than 2020? Way worse than anything that you've seen? When we allow emergencies to take place, it gives government power to do what? To overreach, to set policies, to take away freedom. So is that what we're really talking about? Is climate change or this public health crisis, this global state of emergency, are those terminologies and keywords just for the globalists to say it allows us to have the power we've always wanted, to let you be the serfs that you always were, and that we can basically rule over you? Is that really what we're looking at? Think about this. You know, when you have money, you feel like you never have enough money. When you have that job you wanted, you never have enough of the job you wanted. When you have millions and billions in the bank, a lot of times people are not looking for more money. They're looking for power. There's never enough. You know, if you don't have a Christ-centered view of the world, anything and everything that you do is never enough. We're always striving for more. You always want the nicer car. You always want the nicer this or that. That's the world we live in. Well, in the globalist sense, they have all the money. They have all the things that this world can buy. As in, when you have billions, you can do what you want. You have multi-millions, you can kind of do what you want. So what's the next big thing? It's power. So we're seeing that the Soros and the Gates of the world maneuvering into this push for this crisis. And when the crisis takes place, it allows them to have a foot in the door. Think about it. 2020. Was Bill Gates a doctor? Was he some kind of pharmaceutical expert? Was he anything? No, he was a philanthropist that owned a Microsoft computer company. But everybody went to him for guidance and wisdom. Why? Because he had money and influence. And when that money and influence affects the WHO and all these other non-governmental agencies that set policy and precedent, like the UN and all this, then they go to him because they know he's going to push certain agendas that they're wanting to hear. When they're working together to make you fear something and they make you stress and worry about something, what happens? You become willing to listen to any and every information that you're getting. Now the question is, we're not getting wiser, we're actually getting more controlled. So when we rebrand it from global warming a few years ago, now it's just climate change. That means if there is a hurricane, it's a climate change emergency. If there is a tsunami, it's a climate change emergency. If it's hot and there's fires going on, it's a climate change emergency. If there is cold weather that's all of a sudden rapid onset, it's climate change emergency. And we've allowed them to do that. Slowly and surely they've been able to make this blow up to a point where we can't deny it, because everything is a climate change emergency. Now that's not true. I don't believe that, like we talked about before. But if you hear that enough and everybody's behind it and the propaganda is being pushed by the legacy media and also these big players, and then you hear government backing it, then it allows them to step in, have more overreach, have more say, and have power over our freedoms. Learn from 2020. Think about it. And they're saying this is worse than 2020. Why do you think they keep saying it's worse? It's worse. It's worse. Because they're saying there may be a time when we can overstep even the boundaries that we crossed in 2020. Very, very dictatorish style. Very, very lords and serfs style. Very, very communistic style, where there is a leadership and then everybody else. Well, that is what we're hearing. So why do you think they want to push this globalist movement of climate change? Because there's power behind it. There is control behind it. And of course there's money behind it. So when we hear people say this, make sure you understand that the Greta Thunbergs and all those people that are talking, all they are puppet heads. They're talking heads for the elite and all these people that are wanting to push this stuff down your throat. Now guess what? We've had climate change here. We've went from 90 to 30, then back to 90. And you know what? For 8 weeks, 10 weeks, we've had no rain. I have pine trees dying. I'm fixing to cut about 10 to 15 acres worth of pine that I don't need to cut. But guess what? It's dying because we've had drought conditions here. Now, you know what? It may be climate change, but it's not based on what we're doing to hurt it. It's not based on us buying a cleaner car to make it better. It's not going to take me paying more carbon credits to fly all over the world to fix those trees. It's because the world changes. The seasons change. And it's amazing that we can't just put two and two together to say these people are absolutely crazy and they're taking advantage of us and they're taking advantage of our government, and we're allowing them to pay millions and billions and trillions towards all this movement and this agenda to ultimately make people cower in fear and worry and ultimately not have control of what they do. When you hear these governments saying you can't buy a car by 2025, we're not going to allow any gas-powered cars. By 2030, no gas-powered cars. You're not going to be able to have natural gas in your home. We're going to ban your stove. It's all electric because we're ruining the earth. You can't have those cows out there growing because it's ruining the earth. All they're doing is they're putting you on one grid, control with one style food, where you can't be independent and grow your own supplies. You can't be independent and provide for yourself. It all revolves around control, not climate. Why do the globalists want this big emergency? Because it gives them power. Now you know that, I know that. Common sense tells us that. I'm not telling you something your grandma probably wouldn't have told you. The sad thing is we need reminding of that sometimes. We need to see that there's more people that feel like we do. It's amazing, all the people that's going to comment on this video, 95% of them, it's going to be the same thing. They're going to say, I believe the same way. Well, it's time for us to stand up and stop electing these same people to give us these same bad policies to spend our money, our tax dollars, and cause major issues here when we have the gas, the oil, and all the needs that we can utilize to keep us cool, to keep us warm, to keep us safe. Instead, we want to call it climate change. And it allows for that overreach and that control. And that's what we've got to be careful of. Be wise, be vigilant, understand where this is coming from. When you hear this, don't fear that. You better fear enough and have enough respect for fear to start prepping and start providing for your family different, so you're not going to be having to be subdued by all this pressure. Remember, the people that had to take they were pressured because either they had to have the money, they had to have the job, or they didn't have a way to provide for their family. When you can do all that and be a little bit more independent, they don't control you, and that scares them. Guys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about this video. Are we really in a global state of emergency, or is it just play on words for them to do whatever they want to do? Let me know below. Comment below. Remember, sign up for the giveaway. Thank you for watching. God bless.